ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च। We have completed the Upanishad, Kaṭhopaniṣat, the last class. We will see the summary of the Upanishad. The last Valli to be summarized. That summary also along with the summary of the Upanishad, we will see. So that will cover the summary of the last Valli also. This Upanishad which we started 3 years before. By Ishvara Anugraha it is completed. Generally it is also suggested also Kaṭhopaniṣat to be studied before Mundaka. It will be easy. Some of the prakriyas, methodology of Kaṭhopaniṣat, if you know, then Mundaka Upanishad, the next Upanishad would be Mundaka Upanishad. We are doing Mundaka also parallelly, so you can see the connection. This Upanishad, with the name Kaṭhopaniṣat, with the name Katha, it belongs to Krishna Yajurveda. It belongs to the Krishna Yajurveda, Kaṭhaka Shaka. In the Kaṭhaka Shaka of the Krishna Yajurveda, this Upanishad is located. And as we know, the Vedanta, that is a positional name, this is also located at the end, Kaṭhaka Shakayam Krishna Yajurveda. Therefore, this as the name Kaṭhopaniṣat. It is Kaṭhopaniṣat. Some say Kaṭhopaniṣat, not Katha. Story. Story is there. But because this Upanishad is in the Kaṭhopaniṣat, it is called Kaṭhopaniṣat. This Upanishad has 2 chapters, Adhyaya. Each chapter having 3 sections. Sections are called Valli. Valli. Srilinga. Valli. Tisraha Valyaha. Prati Adhyaya. So 2 chapters, each chapter having 3 sections. So therefore 6 Vallis. Either we can refer to the mantra by the Valli. First Valli, second Valli, third Valli, fourth Valli, fifth Valli, sixth Valli. Or we can refer to the mantra by first chapter, first Valli, first chapter, second Valli. Anyway, we can refer to. This Upanishad has 119 mantras. 119 mantras, and the first section has the most number of mantras. That is 29 mantras are there in the first section, which is an introduction to the Upanishad. The second section has 25 mantras. Third section, important section, 17 mantras. And in the second chapter, first Valli, 15 mantras, second Valli also 15. The last chapter, 18 mantras are there. So totaling 119 mantras are there in this Upanishad. Since this Upanishad belongs to Krishna Yajurveda, therefore we have the Shanti Pata, Sahana Bhavatu, for which the Bhashyakara had written Bhashyam at the end of the Upanishad, which we saw in the last class. And Bhashyakara gives a Sambandha Bhashya, explains what is the meaning of the word Upanishad. We know very well. We have seen that many times. Sadehe dhatoho Upanipurvasya Kriptat Pratyantasya Rupam Upanishad Visharana Gati Avasadhanartasya iti. In the sense of Visharana Gati and Avasadhana. The word Upanishad. We will not get into the Bhashyam, just quickly. And the first chapter, first section, first mantra, starting from the first mantra up to the ninth mantra, starting from the first mantra up to the ninth mantra. The first mantra is Shanhavai Vajashavasaha Sarvavedasam Dadau iti. The Upanishad starts. Starting from this mantra up to the ninth mantra, the Upanishad presents the context in which this teaching happens. The context is in the form of the story. There was the person with the name Vajashravasa. Vajashravasaha. It is Akaranta Shabda. His father is Vajashrava. Sakaranta, this is Akaranta. Vajasravas is father. Vajashravasaha is son. His son is Nachiketa. So, Nachiketa's father is Vajashravasaha. Vajashravasa, Akaranta Shabda. He is otherwise called Audalaki Aruni, is another name. He was performing the Vishvajit Yajna. Vishvajit Yajna. It's a very big Yajna in which whatever a person has in his possession, money, house, cows, vehicles, everything, whatever he has, everything is supposed to distribute. Everything is supposed to give us dhanam. The palam of performing this yajna is to reach the Swargaloka. Swargaloka Prapti Palam. So, desiring to, that way Ushan, desiring to enjoy the karma palam of this yajna, Vishwajit performed this sacrifice, this yajna, and he was distributing all his wealth, Vedasam, Sarva Vedasam, all his wealth. He has a son with the name Nachiketas, Nachiketa, Prathama Vibhakti, Ekavachana, Nachiketaha, not Nachiketa, Nachiketaha, Vedas Shabdavat, Nachiketaha. So Nachiketa was his son. He was watching his father performing his yajna. Since his father had been a Vaidika, he had seen his father doing Vaidika karma. Yes, Shraddha in the Shastram. Therefore, he was watching how his father doing the yajna. He saw his father giving away all his wealth as dhanam to the brahmanas, the priest, and others in the yajna. When everything was given, what was left out finally was there were some cows which were very old and decrepit. Pitodakaha. Upanishad describes the cows as Pitodakaha. It has drunk its water. It cannot drink any more water. It doesn't have strength. Jagdatrinaha. It cannot eat trinam, grass anymore. Dugdadohaha. It has given milk. Now it cannot give milk and cannot produce cows also. Nirindriyaha. All are old cows. That also he was distributing. Whatever in one's possession should be given. Therefore, that alone was left out at the end. Therefore, he was giving them also. Nachiketa, he saw that, and these cows were old and they are of no use. So, therefore, he thought, instead of giving the things or the cows, etc., which are of no use and requires money to maintain that, and he thought, I would be of use. I'm also his possession. I'm also the possession of my father. I'm also a property. So therefore, he asked his father, to whom will you give me? First time he asked, his father ignored. Second time he asked, father ignored. Third time when he asked, then he got angry and said, I will give you to Yamadharma Raja. Father got irritated and he told that I would give you to Yama, Mrityu Devata. Nachiketa, the young boy of 9 years old, he took the statement of his father very seriously. Therefore, he pestered his father to send him to Yamaloka. In spite of his father being trying to convince him, he did not accept because the words were given. Once the words were given, it has to be fulfilled. Therefore, he emphasized the importance of following the words which have come out from the mouth. Therefore, he asked his father to send him to Yamaloka, where Yama was residing, and he went. So this is then he went to Yamaloka. Then when he went to the Yamaloka, there Yamadharma Raja was not there. Yamadharma Raja, he had gone on his duty. So he waited there. He waited for 3 days. This boy, a young brahmachari, without any food, he was waiting at the door of Yamadharmaraja for 3 days. After 3 days, Yamadharmaraja, he comes back. And when he saw the boy waiting for him, he got shocked and he felt very bad because it's considered to be a papam to make a brahmachari wait, and that too without food. No hospitality, nothing was given, and he was made to wait. So he felt guilty and he thought he would do prayasita for that. Therefore, in the form of prayasita, he told Nachiketa that he can ask for boons, 3 boons, because he waited for 3 days. Therefore, 3 boons. Tasmat prati 3 varan vrinishva. That is the mantra, 9th mantra. So this is the first mantra starting from the 9th mantra. Tells a context, Upanishad presents a context in which the meeting of the teacher and the student takes place. So now the student, Nachiketa, would be student, not yet become a student, and would be teacher, the Yamadharmaraja, their meeting. This is how their meeting takes place. So this is the topic of the mantras starting from first mantra to 9th mantra. Since Yamadharmaraja had given 3 boons, now Nachiketa started encashing that. And the first boon is covered in the mantra, 10th mantra and the 11th mantra. The first boon in the form of that when he goes back to the world, his father should receive him happily. His anger should have gone and he should receive me happily. So by that, he makes sure that he goes back very intelligently. He asks for that boon. The first boon is Yatha purastat bhavita pratitaha Audalaki rarudahi mat prasrishtaha. Audalaki Aruni is father. His father, as he was before, so he must receive me happily. This is the first boon. It means that father should forgive me and should accept me. By that, he made sure that he goes back to the world again. This is the first boon. Then the second boon, which starts from the mantra number 12 up to the 18th mantra. Up to the 18th mantra, he asks for the boon that the knowledge of performing the ritual, by which a person gains Swargaloka. The person gains Swargaloka Prapti. The second boon, he asked not for himself, he asked for the well-being of the society, for the people. That is in the form of the yajna. That will take people to Swargaloka. Why Swargaloka? Because Swargaloke na vayam kinchit nasti, na tatratum na jaraya bhiveti, shokatigo modate Swargaloke. People enjoy in the Swargaloka because there is no death, no disease, no old age. Therefore, since people aspire for going to Swargaloka, therefore he encashed the second boon for knowing the knowledge, for gaining the knowledge of this yajna, performing which a person gains Swargaloka. And Yamadharmaraja, he taught that yajna also. And when he asked Nachiketa to repeat what he had taught, he repeated verbatim back to Yamadharmaraja. He was so pleased. Therefore, he gave a precious gem. As an appreciation, he gave a precious gem to Nachiketa. Now here, one sentence is there, that is, Swargalokaha amrutatvam bhajante. That is, Swargalokaha amrutatvam bhajante. That is, people in Swargaloka, they enjoy amrutatvam. Amrutatvam is amarana dharma. They don't have death. How can you say that they don't have death? Amrutatvam bhajante. Amrutatvam means no death, immortality. Swargalokaha sattamagnim swargamadhyeshi mrityo prabhruhipam saddathanaya magyam Swargalokaha amrutatvam bhajante etat dvitiyena vrune. I choose this as a second boon, that going to Swargaloka, the know-how of performing the yajna by which, doing which the person gains Swargaloka. Why? Because people in Swargaloka, they enjoy amrutatvam. So here we have to understand that amrutatvam, it is not atyantika amrutatvam, it is apekshika amrutatvam. It is relatively a long period. Long is also limited only. How long? Very long. Compared to Manushya Janma, it is very long. Compared to Manushya Janma, it is very, very, very long. Extremely long. But whatever may be, it is limited only. Amrutatvam, Swargaloka Amrutatvam. That which is absolutely, that which has got absolute Amrutatvam is moksha. That is infinite. Anything less than the infinite is limited only. It is anything less than limited. Limitlessness, infinite minus one is finite only. Infinite, even minus 0.0001 is limited only. So anything less than infinite is finite only. It is samsara only. So limitless or infinite is infinite. So this Swargaloka Amrutatvam, it is nowhere near to the Atyantika Amrutatvam. It is not moksha. It is a place where people can go and stay for a long period of time. After the exhaustion of the karma pala, kshine punye, martyalokam vishanti. Then punarapi jaranam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam, that samsara continues. Therefore, anything less than purnatvam is infinite, is limited only. Therefore, when we read this statement, Swargalokaha amrutatvam bhajante, we may think that this is amrutatvam, immortality. That immortality is not atyantika, it is apekshika, relative. Aspiring for that, people, they perform karma. And therefore, Nachiketa wanted to know the know-how of the yajna. Therefore, he asked that as a second boon. And Yamadharmaraja also, he taught, Prate bravimi tadu me niboda, swargamagnim Nachiketa prajana. He taught how to perform, how to arrange the bricks, how to construct a yajna kunda, specific yajna kunda, and how many bricks should be used, how should be constructed, how the yajna, what are the ahutis to be performed, what are the mantras to be chanted, everything. Ya ishtaka yavatirva yatava. Everything he taught. Then, after being taught, then Tamabrivit Priyamano Mahatma Varam Tavehati Dadami Bhuyaha Tavaiva Namna Bhavitamaya Akbihi Srinkam Chema Aneka Rupam Grahana. Having taught, when Yamadharmara asked him to repeat what he said, he repeated. Therefore, being pleased with that, he gave Srinkam, necklace. That is an additional boon. He was so happy, therefore, he gave the necklace. So that is the additional boon. So therefore, starting from this, that is 12th mantra up to the 18th mantra. And also one more thing is there, that is that yajna was called by Nachiketa. Another name, one more boon. So in fact, he asked for 3 boons. Yamadharmaraja had given him 5. One is the necklace he gave, other one is this Agni Karya, the Agni Karma was given the name Nachiketagni. In fact, Yamadharmaraja himself, he refers to this Agni later in the Upanishad, Nachiketagni. So he gives this name to this Agni. Agni is Agni Karma. So that is the topic from the 12th mantra up to the 18th mantra. Then when Nachiketa was asked to tell the third boon, Tritiyam Varam Nachiketo Vrinishva. Having given the second boon, then the third boon, that is when he was asked to, when Nachiketa was asked to demand the third boon, that topic starts from third boon from the 19th mantra onwards. From the 19th mantra up to the end of this chapter, where he asked the third boon and the Yamadharmaraja resist. Then further he insists, Yamadharmaraja tests the Nachiketa. So all these things are covered in the mantra. Very important section. This section emphasizes the desirable qualities. Adhikaritum, in other words, adhikaritum on the part of the student. The student, when he has this knowledge, the teacher will not give immediately. We wanted to know the commitment of the student. We wanted to examine and get convinced about on the commitment of the student to gain this knowledge. Otherwise, this knowledge will be dangerous. Only for a committed person, this knowledge will be useful. Therefore, before giving this knowledge, he wanted to test the student Nachiketa. So that is the topic from the 19th mantra up to the end of this chapter. So the third boon, he asked with the 20th mantra. So 1.20, that is the third boon. From here only, our topic, Atma Vidya starts. Atma Vidya means the teaching of Atma, that Atma Tattvam, that will start later. But here, the preparatory disciplines for this Atma Vidya. The preparatory disciplines that in the form of Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. That you will see that is spread over in this chapter as well as the next chapter also. In Tritiya Vali also it is spread. Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Viveka Vairagya Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti Mumukshutvam. So here you will see Yamadharmaraja testing the Vairagya and the Mumukshutvam of the would-be student Nachiketa. So 20th mantra he asked for the third boon. Astityeke na ayam asti iti chayeke. Ayam prete vichikitsa manushye. Astityeke na ayam asti iti chayeke. Etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham varanam yeshah tritiyaha varaha tritiyaha iti. Instead of asking for the knowledge of Atma directly, the Upanishad beautifully says, what happens to the person after the death? Some people say Nasti. Some people say Asti. That is, the person survives death. After the body only dies. After the death of the body, there is something which survives. Some people say. Some people say, like Charuvaka, Pranam Krutva, Kritam Pibet, Basmi Bhutasya Sharirasya Punaha Agamanam Kutaha. Iti Charuvaka and all. They say this body dies means dies, gone. The person is gone. Nothing survives after death. Therefore, there is no punya, there is no papa. Nothing is there. It's all accidental happens. There is no connection. Comes and goes. People come and go. So therefore, no accountability for karma also. Therefore, only their philosophy is Rinam Krutva. You take loan from people. You don't have to pay it. You're not going to incur papa. You enjoy the life. Ghritam Pibet. Drink ghee. Ghee is luxury. So, and this Basmi Bhutasya Degasya, this Dega is going to become Basma one day. So what is that left out after that? Nothing. So punaha agamanam kutaha iti charuvaka. Therefore, Chiketa, he has this doubt. So what happens to the person after Maranam? That is the third boon, very important boon. In other words, he is asking for the knowledge of Atma, Atma Vidya. That is, instead of asking directly, like in Mundaka, Kasminna Bhagavo Vigyate Sarvavidam Vigyatam, there also the student was having some knowledge. That's why he asked Kasminna Bhagavo Vigyate. Here, this is a general quest of most of the people. Most of the people, they don't know. They have this quest. They don't know what happens to us after death. After death, what will happen? Not knowing and being carried over by the pleasures of the samsara, not bothered about this question. It has not become a quest. It is just in the form of a question only. It has not converted into a quest. Therefore, they survive. They live. But there are some people for whom this question has become a quest. So Nachiketa had this quest. Therefore, he wanted to know. He wanted to encash the third boon in the form of gaining the knowledge of that which, whether it survives death, the Atma. That is the third boon. Varanam Eshaha Tritiya Varaha. When asked, will the teacher give immediately? No teacher gives immediately. That is why in those days, when a student goes to the teacher, even in Kaṭhopaniṣat, it is said, when the 6 students approached the Guru Pipalada, when they said that they wanted to know the truth, he didn't say immediately. He didn't make them ask questions and immediately answers. He said, "You please stay with me for a year. Live in the Gurukulam. Do Guru Seva, the Ashrama Seva. After 1 year, at the end of 1 year, you please ask a question. If I know the answers, then I will tell." So that 1 year living in the Gurukulam, staying with the Guru, that prepares a student. That also tells whether the student is committed. Otherwise, who will stay for 1 year? 1 year is a long time. So not wanting to know, people may turn back also. So therefore, when it is asked, it is not given like that immediately. In those days, at least it is not given. That is why these Vidya were there only in the Himalayas, only with the sannyasis living there. If you want to know, you have to travel all the way and gain that. Therefore, some commitment, some dedication is required. If this commitment is not there, this knowledge will be treated, will be considered as any other knowledge. Then that knowledge is of no use. This knowledge also will be considered one more academic knowledge. What is the use of this knowledge then? And this is Brahma Vidya, Para Vidya. It is given by the rishis, that has to be received with the reference by the qualified students. Therefore, it is a duty of the teacher to examine the students whether the patram, the vessel, is the right vessel. If it is not the right vessel, if it is a contaminated one, the milk which is kept in the vessel, what will happen? It will become sour. It will get spoiled. Therefore, to the right patram, to the right candidate only, this should be given. Therefore, only the Guru test. Swamiji used to say, in those days, when the student goes to the north Himalaya, they're asking for this knowledge from the teacher will ask you, go around the Bharatam twice and come. To go around not by train or not by bus, you have to go by walk. That itself will consume many years. By the time you become old also. That just to see the commitment. Even in the life of Swami Chinmayananda, I saw the biopic. He was sent by Swami Shivananda to Tapon Maharaj. to study. When he went there, Tapovan Maharaj did not allow him to stay with him immediately. He asked for the letter, whether he had brought the recommendation letter from Swami Shivananda. When he said, no, he just told me by word. Then he said, no, you go back. Immediately go back. He had walked all the way from Rishikesh to Uttarkashi. Then again he had to come back, and again he had to take the letter and go. So he went back. That is and Tapovan Maharaj knows also. That is a commitment. So that commitment is being tested. And here in this Upanishad, how beautifully Yamada Maharaja, he tests the commitment, tests the Viveka, tests the Vairagya of the student. Then he discourages. No, this knowledge is very difficult. Even Devas also don't have very clear knowledge about this. They themselves have doubt with regard to this. And it is not Suvigneyam. It is a very subtle subject matter. Anubhu yeshaha dharmaha. Therefore, better you ask some other boon. Anyamaram nachiketo vraneshva iti. So don't pester me with the same boon. You ask for some other boon that I can give you. And Nachiketa, he didn't budge. He stood on his ground and said, Na anyaha varaha tulyaha etasya kaschat. And he told very beautifully, Bhaktachasya tvadriganyona labhyaha. Na anyaha varaha tulyaha etasya kaschat. There can be no better teacher than you, because you are the best teacher. Why? Because Yamadharmaraja, his job is to take away the life of the prana of the people. So he knows better what happens to the jiva after death, because he was the one who takes back the life of the jiva. So who else can be a better teacher than Yamadharmaraja? Therefore, he says, nobody can be a Vakta, better Vakta, the teacher than you. And also I'm very sure on this, Anyaha Varaha, Etat Tulyaha, not required. Any other boon equivalent to this, I don't want. No other boon can be, no other knowledge can be equivalent to this. No other boon or knowledge can be equivalent to this. That he knows. Because Purnam minus anything is Apurnam only. Purnam is complete. There is no compromise on that. Therefore, he stood on his ground and he says, Anyaha varaha eshaha etasya kachit na. I don't want. Then he says, I'll give you hundreds of years you can live. You live a long life. Like in Swargaloka, Shatayushaha, and you will have Putra, Pautra, all the Pashus and elephants, Hiranyam, gold, everything. And whatever you ask in the world, in the Bhumi, vast land, everything. And you can choose your lifespan also, how long you want to live, that also I give. Or any other varam, if it is equivalent to that, please, you ask, that also I'll give. Mahabhumam nachiketas tamedi kamanam tva kamabhajam kuromi. I will make you the enjoyer of all the kama, which is not even imaginable in this Swargaloka. I will give you everything. Such a nice offer. If a person doesn't have Vairagya, he will go for it. And Nachiketa, he didn't budge. He said, Ye kamaha durlabhaha martyaloke sarvan kama chandatah prarthayasva imaramaha sarata saturyaha nakidrisha lambaniya manushyehi. This is said by Yamadharmaraja. These kamas, the objects of desire, are very difficult to get in the earth. Everything I give you, all the divine damsels, their vehicles, everything, and also long life. Please take this. But in Nachiketa, Maranam ma anuprakshihi, don't pester me by asking the knowledge or the secret of this Maranam, death. Then to that, Nachiketa says, how much by Viveka and Vairagya he has. Shvabhava martyasya yadanta kaitatu. Sarvendriyanam jariyanti tejaha. All the objects of desire you are giving, and what will happen if you enjoy? Even if it is long, after some time long, this all the indriyas they are going to lose the power. Jarayanti tejaha. Their power, their function, it's going to deteriorate over a period of time. Any long if you go, it is also swalpam only. It is limited only. Therefore, this is a beautiful statement which personally I like. Tavaiva vahaha tavanritigit. You keep your vehicles. You keep your all the dams and the divine damsels. I don't know. I don't want anything. Iti. But Yamadharmaraja did not leave further. He tries to convince, tempts him. Navittena tarpaniyo manusyaha lapsyamake vittamatrakshma chetva jivishyamo yavadishyasi tvam varastume varaniyaha sayeva. Even though Yamadharmaraja was trying to tempt him, but Nachiketa stood on his ground. He says, Varaha tu me varaniyaha sahayeva. Sahayeva mama varaha. You have given your word. You have given your word, therefore you should stick by your word. I don't want any other boon. I want only this boon. That knowledge of the secret after death. So that is the topic which is covered in this, the mantra. So third boon 1.1.20 and Yamadharmaraja's attempt to convince Nachiketa to ask for some other boon, for which he did not agree. He was sticking to this boon only, which is the knowledge. So the first one boon was to go back to his father. The second boon about karma, and the third boon about jnanam. So it is an order. Even in Veda also, karma kanda first, jnana kanda later. So karma and jnana. Dharmartha kama purushartha, then moksha purushartha. So even though he is a boy, but he has got vairagya, therefore he has grown out of dharmartha kama purushartha, and now he is asking for the knowledge by which he gains moksha purushartha. Then why did he ask for karma? Karma, the knowledge of karma, he asked not only for himself, for the people of the world, so that he can go and tell the people, because people are there, many of them are after dharmartha kama, therefore he asked for their sake. Iti. With this, Prathama Valli is concluded. Then the Dvitiya Valli starts with a beautiful introduction to Vedanta. Dvitiya Valli, there are many ways of introducing the Vedanta, the topic of Vedanta. And here in the Kaṭhopaniṣat, the Yamadharmaraja, he introduces the Vedanta, the topic, by the words Shreyaha Preyaha. Generally, when we introduce Vedanta, we start with Purushartha, Chaturveda Purushartha. And here you say Shreyas and Preyas. Another name. It's all same only. It's all same only. It is another name. Shreyas and Preyas. So Prayorti, Shreyorti. There are two sets of people. Prayorti, Shreyorti. Prayortis are those people who are after Dharmartha Kama Purushartha. They are after Karma Kanda and Upasana Kanda. The first portion of the Veda. They are Prayorti. They are interested in gaining the limited. They are happy with the limited things. Whatever the Sukham they gain, Iha or Amutra, that is what they are interested. Iha or Amutra is Swargaloka. They are Prayorti. They are after the pleasant things, the objects which give happiness. They are that's why they are Prayorti. They are after Vishayananda. Ananda, the happiness which the Vishayas give, therefore they are Vishayarthi or Vishayananda. They are after the Ananda, which are Vishayananda. To come to the Jnanakanda, one has to grow out of this Vishayananda, should discover or should understand that these Vishayanandas are limited. Like Nachiketa said, Sarvendriyanam Dhairanti Tejaha, even if it is long, it will going to perish. Understanding the limitedness of this Vishayananda and wanting to know that Ananda, which is oneself, Swarupananda, Atmananda, that is the topic of Jnanakanda, and that is denoted by the word Shreyas. So, therefore, here Yamadharmaraja says There are two sets of people, and there is a two sets of people are the Shreyorti and Prayorti. Choice is there. People can choose Shreyas, Karma Kanda or Upasana Kanda, that is first portion of the Veda, Dharmartha Kama Purushartha. Or people can choose Jnana Kanda, otherwise called the Shreyas. People have choice. They can use their buddhi, they can choose. But what happens, most of the people are mandaha. They are after yoga and kshema. Yoga is acquisition, kshema is preservation. Acquisition, preservation. Whether it is money or whether it is real estate, everything. They want to acquire and preserve it. How long? That day will come when everything has to be given up. Not given up forcefully. So, a dhira only will choose over prayers, he will choose Shreyas. Shreyaha Dhiraha. Dhiraha is Viveki. Diyam Rati iti Dhiraha. Viveki ityartaha. Viveki Purushaha. A Dhira, an intelligent person, he will choose Shreyas. He will choose Shreyas, Jnanam. And there are, he says that there are people who are after this Shreyas, but you are asking for Shreyas, and also he exhibited that his commitment to this knowledge. How? When Yamadharmaraja was giving the necklace, that also he discarded. When he gave the necklace, Naitam Shrinkam Vittamayim Avaptaha Yasya Majjanti Bhagava Manushyaha. That also shows that his commitment to gain this knowledge. He didn't receive the necklace. He said he gave that. That is the necklace stands for the limitedness, the limited pleasure. That also he discarded. So he wanted to know, gain only this knowledge. Then from the mantra, from this first mantra up to the sixth mantra, the introduction to Vedanta, and Yamadharmaraja, he praises the Viveka of the student Nachiketa. This Shreyas is Vidya and Prayas is Avidya. That Yamadharmaraja says, what is Prayas and what is Shreyas? What is Vidya and what is Avidya? How people are bound by this Avidya, how they live. That also he presents. That is in the mantras from 1 to 6. So after the introduction to Vedanta by the words Shreyas and Prayas, then he distinguishes between the two. That is Avidya and Vidya. Avidya is called Prayas and Vidya is called Shreyas. Duramete viparite vishuchi avidya yacha vidyeti jnata. These two, Vidya and Avidya, the two are far apart. They two are far apart. Vidya minus anything is Avidya only. Purnatvam minus anything is Apurnatvam only. This Avidya only. There are Duram ete. They are totally opposite. And Nachiketa, Vidya Bhipsinam Nachiketa Sammanye Twamta Kama Bhagavalolupanta. And Yamadharmaraja says, your Vidya Bhipsinam, you have chosen this knowledge. Yamadharmaraja says, Nachiketa Sammanye. I consider, Manye is Agam Manye. Who says? Yamadharmaraja says, Agam Nachiketa Sammanye Vidya Bhipsinam. Vidya Abhips, your commitment for this knowledge. I consider you as the seeker of this knowledge, the real seeker of this knowledge. Iti Agam Manye. Yamadharmaraja says, Natva Kamaha Bhagavaha Alolupanta. No amount of this sense objects, sense pleasures can convince you, could tempt you. So he was so happy with the commitment of the Nachiketa. Therefore, he says, Vidya Abhipsinam, Vidyarthinam, that is, Vidya Artitum Sheelam Yasya. Vidyarthinam, that is called Vidyarthi. Who is a Vidyarthi? The Vidyarthi, Vidya Artitum Sheelam. Vidya Artitum Sheelam Yasya, Sahayava Vidyarthi. Yamadharmaraja gives a certificate. You are the best student. You are the right candidate. And the next shloka, he compares the people. that people who are after this avidya and people who are after avidya, avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha Vandramyamanaha Pariyanti Mudaha Andenaiva Niyamanaha Yatandaha. Siddhar mantra, it is there in Kaṭhopaniṣat we saw. So in this section, therefore, you will find the glorification of this knowledge, glorification of this vidya, by presenting how these people after prayers, they go after this avidya, and therefore they lose. So by comparing with them, praises Vidya, Stuti, and Guru Stuti as well as Shishya Stuti. All the three are praised. Praising the Guru and the Shishya and the knowledge. Here, Vidya Stuti. Avidyaya mantare vartamanaha. That is steeped in ignorance. They think they know everything. Therefore, they are after limited things. Dharma artha kama purushartha. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, the second chapter, Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti vipaschitaha vedavadartah partha nanidasti iti vadinaha kamatmanaha swargaparaha janma karma phalapradam kriya vishesha bagulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. They say very nice flowery words because they are committed to doing the karma and therefore enjoying the limited, the results, the karma phalam which the karma gives. Therefore, they think themselves to be highly knowledgeable and they lead the people. Oh, andenaiva niyamanaha yatandaha. There are people who follow them. So therefore, they are compared to anda, they are compared to blind people. These people who are after this avidya, they are blind people. So therefore, comparing that, he says, this vidya, what you're asking is highest vidya, the knowledge, there is no equivalent to that. And also the next mantra he says, Na samparaya pratibhadivalam pramadyantam vittamohena mudam ayam loko nasti paraitimani punah punarvashama paddhatime. In the fifth mantra and sixth mantra, it is the limitations of this avidya, the limitations of the knowledge other than this knowledge, Atma Vidya, is presented. Here the na samparaya. Samparaya is important word. Sampare iyate iti samparayaha. That is the disciplines. Samparaya means it is shastriya, the disciplines. Sadhana visheshaha, shastriyaha, Pashakara says. That is the disciplines which are prescribed by the Shastra, that are not appealing to the Bala, that are not appealing to these people. These people are considered to be Bala, childish people. They are carried away by the limited pleasures which the Vishayas offer. That is Dharmartha, that is prayers. They don't understand the value of this knowledge. Therefore, infatuated for the limited pleasures, going after them. They think this ayam lokaha paraha, that is, this loka is the highest one, there is no other loka. Iti, without that knowledge, that they are interested in gaining the pleasures only which this world offers. They don't believe the other world. This world alone is there. Ayam lokaha asti, nasti paraha, there is nothing beyond that. They are like charuvakas. So, therefore, Yamadharma Raja says, punarvasham apadyate me. Because they think, therefore, they come again and again they come under my grip. That is, punarapi jananam, punarapi manam, they are born and they die. They are in the samsara chakra. Who is prayers? Prayorti. Therefore, this Atma Vidya stuti is done by comparing with this avidya. Vidya and Vidya. Avidya, Vidya Yogo, Vidya, Shreyasi. How it is compared? By putting down this avidya, by putting down this prayer, the pursuit of prayers. By that Upanishad praises. Then the next mantra, it says, Shravanayapi Bhagavir Yona Labhyaha All these are important mantras. Shunvantopi bhagavo yamna vidyuhu ascharyo bhakta kushalosya labda ascharyo jnata kusalanushishtaha. The Upanishad says the people are very rare who choose moksha. The people are very rare. The Shrayotis are very rare. Shravanayapi bhagavir yona labdyaha. In spite of listening to this Atma, this knowledge is not easily gainable. It is not easily gainable, but in spite of listening, this Atma is not available because it is Shvantopi bhagavo yamna vidyuhu, because it is not easy to understand. Easy to understand means unless the person is prepared person, unless he has the necessary disciplines, he will not understand also, because it is a sukshma vishaya. Therefore, in spite of listening, in spite of talking on Atma and listening to Atma, people, they don't understand this. They are not interested. Thing is, they are not interested. Only a very rare few are blessed to have the opportunity to listen to this Atma Jnanam, and that too without any pratibandha. It's all big thing. Listening to the Upanishad for a length of time and without any obstacle, it's all a boon, really a boon. It's not easy. It's because of punya only a person is able to listen to the Shastra. Understanding is the next step. At least listening itself gives punya. The next step is, if the person is a qualified person, adhikari, then he will understand. And here, the Upanishad says, Ascharyo Bhakta Kushalosya Labda. This is Ascharyaha. That Atma is Ascharyaha. Ascharyo Bhakta, the one who reveals the Atma, is Ascharyaha. And who knows his Atma, that also is Ascharya. Why this Ascharya? Because the one who knows his Atma is himself. Knowing oneself, the Atma, that is Ascharyaha. It is Ascharya. Because people tend to objectify, people tend to experience. They tend to experience any Vishaya. That is their general orientation. But this is you yourself, Atma. Therefore, people who reveal the Atma is Ascharyaha, and people who receive this knowledge and discovers this Atma to be oneself, that is also wonder. Wonder means in terms of rarity. In terms of rarity, therefore, it is a wonder. This mantra also, it is there in the Gita. Any of the mantra you will see, it is Krishna Bhagavan had literally lifted from this Upanishad. So therefore, Ascharya Bhakta. Then Raja says, this knowledge, it is na suvigneyaha. It is not easy to understand. This is again the glory of the Vidya only. Vidya Stuti. Na narena avarena proktaha yeshaha suvigneyaha. It is not easy to comprehend this Atma. It is not easy. Ananya prokte gatiratra nasti aniyan etarkyam anupramanat. It is aniyan. It is a subtle subject matter. It is not available for tarka pramana, not available for your reasoning. You cannot reason it out. And ananya prokta. Ananya prokte gatiratra nasti. When this Atma is revealed by the person who is ananyaha, not different from that. The beautiful word ananya. Ananya means he is Atma. The one who reveals the Atma is not different from the Atma. Brahmanishta. Ananya prokte. When the Brahmanishta presents his Atma, there is no gati for the student. He helplessly understands, discovers Atma to be oneself. That's the glory. Vidyastuti. When this knowledge is revealed by Avarena Narena, then it cannot be understood. Na suvigneyaha. When it is taught by Avarena Narena, this knowledge is cannot be understood. When this knowledge is taught by Ananya Prokte, taught by the person, Ananya Proktaha, that is Brahmanishta, there is no choice for the student other than understanding it. And this Atma is Aniyan, Anoraniyan, Magato Magiyan. Therefore, it is not available for Tarkadi Pramanam. It is Shastra Shabda Pramanam, Shastrehi, Shastrena Eva, Avagantavyam. Therefore, requires Shraddha, Guru Upasadanam, Guru Seva, etc. And here Yamadharmaraja is, who else can be the better teacher? Ananya Proktaha, he knows. And again, Vidyastuti in this mantra also. So, therefore, Vidyastuti is from first its introduction to the Vedanta, then Vidyastuti, starting from third mantra up to here, ninth mantra. Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya, Proktanyena Iva Sujnanaya Preshta, Yatmapa Satyadritir Batasi, Twan Drangno Bhuya Nachiketo Prashta iti. Now, here in this mantra, the Shishyastuti, Yamadharmaraja himself praises Shishyastuti as well as Vidya also is talked about here. This knowledge, Tarkena, it cannot be gained by reasoning. It is not available for any other Pramanam. When taught by the other people, other than Shrotriya Brahmanishta, this knowledge cannot be gained. And he says, before giving this knowledge, Yamadharmaraja, the teacher, was so sure that the student would receive. Therefore, he says, Tom apaha satya dhritir bhathasi. You have attained this knowledge. Teaching had not been started, but Yamadharmaraja has so confidence in the student. Therefore, Vidyastuti. Twandrangno bhuya nachiketas prashta. May I have students, more students like you, committed students. Yamadharmaraja himself is asking for students like Nachiketa, committed students. This knowledge which is not available for Tarka, any other Pramana, to be gained only by the Shastram. Shastram itself we cannot study on your own, therefore Guru is required, Guru Upasadanam is required, and the Guru should be therefore should be a Shrotriya Brahmanishta. When it is taught by a Shrotriya Brahmanishta who is Ananya Prokta, the student helplessly understands this. And Nachiketa, you have understood, you have gained this knowledge. You have gained this knowledge. Before teaching himself, he says, because he is a sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha. Yamadharmaraja, the teacher, sees completely in the student that the fourfold qualifications completely. Therefore, Yamadharmaraja says, I want more students like you, iti. Vidyastuti and Shishyastuti, beautifully, it is done. And Yamadharmaraja himself says, had I known this before, I would not have gone for karma and upasana. Yamadharmaraja himself says that that Padavi, the designation, what he enjoys, that Yamadharma Padavi, that also is temporary. Janamyakam Shevadi Ritya Nityam, Nakhyadruvai Prapyatehi Drum Tat. That is, this Padavi, what I enjoy, it is Anitya. It is Anitya. This is also a temporary one. Because this I gained by karma and upasana. Karma upasana, they are anitya sadhana. They cannot give you nitya phalam. Therefore, anitya sadhanena anitya phalam. Sadhanam, anitya sadhanam is karma and upasana. Because it gives anitya phalam. This designation also anityam. So this, the upasana which I did karma with all the materials by which I have gained this padavi, therefore that is also limited. That is limited. Had I had vairagya like you, I would have gained this knowledge long before. That is what he says. So therefore, by saying this, what the Yamadharma Raja does is, he glorifies the vairagya of Nachiketa. Because he rejected all the lokas, everything, whatever this Yamadharma Raja was offering, he rejected. Even the position of Hiranyagarbha, he was ready to offer, Prajapati. That also he rejected. But Yamadharma Raja did not reject, he accepted. He did karma upasana and got this designation. But Nachiketa rejected even the position of Hiranyagarbha. Therefore, the Upanishad here wants to highlight the vairagyam of the Nachiketa. Hiranyagarbha Padavi is the highest Padavi, Prajapati. That himself he rejected. So therefore, he says in this mantra, the 11th mantra, here Shishyastuti, from this 10th mantra onwards, Shishya Stuti, the glorification of the Shishya. Or through this, the Upanishad, what wants to tell is the Shishya must have these qualities. Iti. Kamasyaptim jagatah pratishtam, kratoranantyam abhyasya param, stomam mahadurghayam pratishtam drishta, dhrutya dhiraha nachiketaha atyastrakshihi iti. So, this Nachiketa, he discarded atyastrakshihi. What? Mahadurghayam, kamasyaptim jagatah pratishtam. This jagatah pratishtam, that is jagatah pratishtam means the state of Hiranyagarbha. The state of Hiranyagarbha that you rejected. That which is the jagatah pratishtam, support of the universe. Ananyam. It is anantyam kratoho. Kratoranantyam. Krataha is the yajna, the karma or upasana. So that you have to do a lot. Countless karma upasana you have to do, by which you gain this padavi. Katoranantya abhayasya param. Abhayasya param means that is the result is abhaya, that highest state, that fearlessness. But it is also Hiranyagarbha padavi also limited only. That also atyastrakshihi. You have discarded. Atyastrakshihi, you discarded that, even that also. Magadurghayam. Durghayam stoma magat. That is this Hiranyagarbha padavi, which is magat, which is vast, glorious, and it is adorable, that also you discarded. How much Vairagya Nachiketa must be having to discard the Hiranyagarbha padavi. So Shishya Stuti is being done from 9th shloka onwards. And it continues. Tam durdarsham gunamanu pravishtaha guhayitam gagvareshtam puranam adhyatma yoga digamena devam mattva dhiraha arshashoko jagati. So here he says this Atma Stuti. Atma Stuti is being done. The knowledge of this Vidya, this knowledge, Gudam, Anupravishtam, Guhagitam, iti. So this Atma, which is in the Hridaya Guha, it is Gudam, which is Anupravishtam. Gudam is which is incomprehensible, difficult to understand. And by Adhyatma Yoga Digamena, by Adhyatma Yoga, Adhyatmika Yoga means Nididhyasanam. Shavana Manana Nididhyasanam. By that, making this knowledge is yours, understanding this Atma as you, Matva, Dhiraha, Viveki Purushaha, Arsha Shoko Jahati. He gives up the Arsha and Shoka. He goes above all this happiness and sorrow, above this samsara. Ityartaha. Adhyatma Yoga Digamena. Adhyatma Yoga. Bhashakara will say Adhyatma Yoga means Adhigamaha Tena. Having understood this Atma, the person becomes free from Sukha Dukkha. Sukha Dukkha, Labha, from all the dvandvas, he becomes free. It means he is not touched by that. Like as said in Gita. Dukkeshu anudviknamanaha, Sukeshu vigataspragaha iti. Then the next mantra, 13th mantra also, it is the same as that of the 12th mantra only. There this palam of this Vidya, again this is Vidya Stuti, the palam of this Vidya is presented. How Upanishad can make people come to Upanishad, come to itself, right? Because people are interested in palam. Prayojanam anudishya na mandopi pravartate. Therefore, palam also to be told. Atma we talk, but what is the use of this knowledge? Therefore, palam. That is why Palashruti is there even in the very stotram. That is being said here. Etachutva samparikrigya martyaha pravrugya dharmyam anumetam apya samodate modaniyagum labdva vivritagum sadman achiketasam manye. The palam is said, that is this knowledge, the human being having clearly grasped this Atma, he understands himself to be separate from this Sharira Manasangata. Stula Sukshma Sharirat Vitirtaha, Panchakoshatitaha iti, Pravrugya, separating, understand this Anudharmam, this subtle thing that is Atma, subtle means not in terms of size, in terms of comprehension. Subtle subject matter. That Aham Atma Brahma iti, he understands, having understood what happens to him, Saha Modaniyam. Modaniyam Modate, he rejoices. He rejoices, that is, he gains happiness. He discovers himself to be the very meaning of the word happiness. That is the Palam, Vidya Palam. Having talked about this, Vidyasuti, then in between Nachiketa he interferes. Again, he reminds of the boon, what he has asked in the first chapter, first section, 20th mantra. Again, he has the same boon, but through a different question. The question is different, but the content, the quest is same. He has the same thing only. Anyatra dharma, anyatra dharma. Very important, often quoted this mantra. Even though this is a question, but talks about Atma, which is other than dharma, adharma, other than krita, akrita, other than, it doesn't have bhuta, it doesn't have bhavishya. It's beyond time. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat, anyatra asmat, krita kritat, anyatra bhuta cha vabhya cha, yat tat pashyasi, tad vada. You please tell me that which is free from dharma, adharma, papa punya, not bound by karma, which is free from being the status of karanam or karyam. It is neither the karanam nor the karyam. It is neither past, not bhavya, not future. It means it is beyond or above time. Kalatitaha, nityaha ityartaha, that nityatma, that what is I ask as the third boon, you please give me that. Iti, Nachiketa reminds Yamadharmaraja in this 14th mantra. Then Yamadharmaraja, he gives a teaching by introducing Onkara Upasana. Another important mantra. From here only the teaching starts. In this, he says, Aham Bravimi Sangrahena Om Ityetat. But here in this Upanishad, you will not see the discussion on Om. Om is presented more as a Upasana, but Om as Nirguna Brahma for Vichara, it is in the Mandukya Upanishad. Here the Omkara is presented both for Saguna Brahma Upasana or Nirguna Brahma Jnanam. So Omkara can be used by the Upasaka for Saguna Brahma, for gaining Saguna Brahma. It can be used by the Mumukshu for Nirgunam Brahma, gaining the knowledge of that Brahma which is Nirgunam. So therefore, Madharmaraja, he starts the teaching Om Ityetat Agam Sangarahena Bravimi. I will tell you briefly what it is. Om Iti, and this Om is Etad Devaksharam Brahma, Etad Devaksharam Brahma, Etad Devaksharam Yatva, Yo Yadi Ichati Tasya Tat. This Etad Devaksharam Brahma, this Brahma, this Aksharam Brahma, this Omkara, that sound symbol, Pratika, it is Sagunam Brahma. As we have different murtis, different forms are there for Upasana. Similarly, the Omkara is as Saguna Brahma, it is meant for Upasana, for Upasakas. You can do Upasana, meditation on the Murti. Similarly, you can do meditation on the sound. That's why it's called sound symbol. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha. Here, Rupa Rasagandha, they are Murta Bhutas. Amurta is Shabda Sparsha. So, when you are meditating on Saguna Brahma with form, on any Murti, that is your meditation start with Rupa Rasa Gandha. But to go further, Shabda, it is very subtle. What is Murta, what is with a form that you are converting into a very Sukshma, that is sound. Shabda, it is for Shabda. Therefore, Shabda Pratika, Omkara, that will have a different palam. That will have a different palam than the other upasanas. Omkara Upasana. So that Upasana done by the people, Upasakas, for going to Brahmaloka. Having gone to Brahmaloka, from there, from Brahmaji, they gain knowledge and get Krama Mukti. Therefore, Upasakas also, for them also, this Omkara is a support, and for the Jignasu, for Moksharthi, For them, this Omkara is Aksharam Param, it is Nirgunam Brahma. So both the Upasakas and the Jignasus, they meditate on this Brahma and gain what they desire. One gain the moksha through going to Brahmaloka, Krama Mukti, going to Brahmaloka because of this Upasana, Omkara Upasana, and gaining knowledge from Brahmaji, and they gain Mukti. The other one, they gain, that is the Jignasu, the Moksharthi, they gain knowledge here itself, that is called Sadhyo Mukti. Therefore, this Omkara is Sreshtam Alambanam iti. Then from the 18th mantra, the nature of Atma. Yamaraja started teaching. So here he presents what Atma is. Important mantra, this mantra, 18th and 19th mantra, which you see in the Gita, literally lifted from here. Najagate mriyate va vipaschit. This is Sankhya Yoga. This is what Sankhya Yoga, as told by Bhagavan Krishna, that jnanam of this Atma. Nayam kutaschina bhabuva kaschit ajaha nityaha shashvataha, this Atma puranaha na hanyate anyamane sharire. Even when the body is destroyed, this is not destroyed. This is what Nachiketa asked, what happens to the person after Varanam? This body will be buried, will be burnt. What happens to the person? Anyamane, sharire anyamane na hanyate. You are not destroyed even when the shariram is destroyed. That is, Atma survives death, and that is you. Antachen manyate hantum, astaschen manyate hatam, ubautan vijanitaha, nayam antina anyate. This also, it is there in the, taken from this Upanishad only, the Gita. And this Atma is Anoraniyan Magataha Magiyan, subtler than the subtlest and greater than the greatest. Therefore, this Atma, Dhatu Prasadam Nakimanam Atmanaha, those who have mastery over sense organs, they can gain this knowledge. Pashyati, Tamakratahu, Itashokaha iti. So here, Shama, Dhamma is talked about. For Atma Vidya, you required Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shakta Sampatti, and Mumukshutvam. So in there, here this Dhatu Prasada is this, the sense organs have to be specified. Sense organs have to be specified. So those who have the sense organs under control, under management, and they can understand, discover this Atma, and they become Vita Shokaha, they become free. And this Atma, Asinam Duro Vrajati, Shayano Yati Sarvataha. Asinaha Duram Vrajati, that is in the waking state, and in the Jagrata Avastha and Sushupta Avastha, it goes far. But what happens in the sleep? The sleep, it is everywhere. There is no locus. There is no, the Chaitanyam cannot be localized in sleep. It is everywhere. So therefore, that Atma, which is identified with this Stula Upadhi, therefore, identified with the Stula Upadhi, therefore, Duram Rajati, we say. Identified with the Sukshma Upadhi, Karana Upadhi, it is Yati Sarvataha. It is Yati. Therefore, that Atma is custom Madam, Amadam, which is with happiness, without happiness. Happiness in terms of the Vishayas, which are gained through the Upadhi, and which is without happiness, that is in its Swarupa, it is above this happiness, experiential happiness. It is with experiential happiness, without experiential happiness. Atma, when we say experiential happiness, means identified with the Upadhi, and without the Upadhi, in the Sukshma, that is in the Sushupti Avastha, that is very closer. Sushupti Avastha, Karana Shariram is, that is Upadhi is there. Therefore, only there, since it is very subtle and closer, therefore only there you have the happiness. That also experiential happiness, but Atma is above that. Anyaha Jnatum Arhati. Then this Atma, Shariram Sharireshu, Ashariram Sharireshu. It is without a Shariram, but in the Sharira, it is there as though confined by the Sharira. Anavasteshu Avasitam, doesn't have any Avastha. It doesn't have any particular locus. Anavastha, or you can take it as it is Anavasteshu Sharireshu. You have to connect Anavasteshu Sharireshu, Avastitam. This is located in the Sharira, which doesn't have a Sharira. And this is Mahantam Vibhum Atmanam Matva Dhiraha Na Shochati. The Shochati is a key word. That is what Bhagavan Krishna, he starts his Upadesha, Ashochyana Anvashochastvam. The Gita starts with Shocha, the word, ends with the same, Ma Shuchaha iti. Therefore, Dhiraha, ultimately the knowledge is for gaining happiness, it's for gaining the moksha, the freedom from sorrow, grief. Therefore, Dhiraha Viveki Na Shochati, having understood this Atma, which is Sharireshu, in this Upadi, Anavasteshu Sharireshu, in this impermanent Shariram, the Shariram which is impermanent, Anitya, in this Anitya Sharira, the Nitya Atma, as though it is confined. Having known that, Viveki Purusha Na Shochati. And this Atma, Pravachanena Na Labhyaha, Na Medaya, Na Bahuna Shutena, Yamaivesha Vrunate Tena Labhyaha, Tasesha Atma, Vrunate Tanum Swam. So this Atma is not gained by Pravachana, not gained by Meda, it means it is Shavanam, Mananam, Nividhyasanam, all these things are required. It is not that they are underestimated. That is, study of this Shastram and Shavanam, Mananam, then all these things are required. When the person becomes qualified, when the person is ready for that, then this Atma reveals itself. Atma Varanam, that is, when you choose to know the Atma, then Atma reveals itself. You discover you to be this, you to be this. So, Tasya Yeshaha Atma Bhivrunate. Atma chooses that person. How can Atma chooses the person? It means the Atma is revealed to the person, who is ready for it. Therefore, Na Pravachanena, Na Medaya, Na Bhuguna. It means these are only the secondary disciplines. These are only Sahayaka Sadhanani. But ultimate thing is the Atma reveals itself to you. It means you discover that your discovery of the Atma to be you. That is what is important. The Atma reveals its nature, Swarupa, to him who is ready for it. Means he discovers the Atma to be oneself. For that, all these are preparatory disciplines. With Pravachanam, Shavanam, Mananam, Nividhyasanam. So therefore, the highlight of this mantra is just by reading the Shastra, by Shravana Mananam alone, this not is gained. This is gained. That is, we can say this is among all the important sadhana. What is important is the desire to know Atma. You have to choose to know the Atma. When you choose to know the Atma reveals itself. For that, these are the disciplines, the sadhanas. So it is not underestimating the sadhanas. That sadhyam is important. That is what is said here. The sadhyam is Atma chooses you. And the next mantra, 24th mantra, again the sadhana chatushtaya sampatya. In that, certain qualities is asked for the student. It should be in the student. Na virataha duscharitat, na shanto, na samahitaha, na shanta manaso vapi prajnanenaiva mapnuyat. So this can be connected to the previous mantra. We have listened to Shastram, Shamana Mananam, but if you are na virataha duscharitat, then how can this Atma chooses you to reveal itself? Not possible. Because you have not refrained from doing bad karma, and you don't have Shanta Manasa. Shanti is not there, peace of mind is not there, there is no serenity of sense organs or Shama Dhamma, not there. Shanta Manasa, na Shanta Manasa is absence of Shama. Na Shanta Samahita means you don't have the Chitta Naishchalya and you don't have Indriya Nigraha. Then how can this Atma reveal itself? So therefore he says, these are all required. Prajnanena mapnuyat. Prajnanena, that is Jnanena eva, yenam atmanam apnuyat. One gains. That is, one endowed with Shama Dhamma, Indriya Nigraha, he will discover the Atma through knowledge. And this section, this Valli ends with the mantra. It's a beautiful mantra. This, in the figurative sense, it is presented. That is, this Atma, which is above time and space. The space is denoted by Brahma and Kshatra, and the time is denoted by the Odana, Bhavata Odanaha. So, Brahma and Kshatra is, Brahma means Brahmana, Kshatriya. They represent the space, the Desha. And Odanam means food. Odanam is food. So Brahma and Kshatra, they refer to this, they refer the Odana for this Atma. That is, the Brahma and Kshatra, they refer to the Desha. And Mrityuhu Yasya Upasechana. Upasechana means pickle. The death, the Mrityu is the pickle for this Atma. It means Mrityu stands for time, and time is just a pickle. It's only a side dish. For whom? For this Atma. That is, this Atma is above this Desha, above this Kala. Desha Kala Atitaha Atma. That is what is figuratively presented here. It's a figurative presentation. We have seen in the Bhasham very elaborately. So, therefore, a person who leads a dharmika jivanam, who has samadhi shatka sampattihi, and only that person, Atma chooses to reveal itself. The Atma, which is above time, above space, above all the vastus, that Atma reveals itself. Iti Prathamadhyaya Dvitiyavalli. We have completed the Dvitiyavalli. Still not over. Tritiyavalli, I think we will do the next class. Stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. I know this summary cannot be completed. I thought at least first chapter I would be able to complete. First chapter itself not able to complete. Only 2 valleys. 3rd valley is left out. Another at least 20 minutes required to complete the 3rd valley. But we have another class. So we will see in the next class. So one more class. Hopefully within one more class, I think we'll be able to complete. This is
okay.
This is an elaborate summary. This is not a summary. Summary is I can.
Yes.
Elaborate. Okay.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी. Nice to understand from the first. Actually, thank you so much.
धन्यवाद
धन्यवाद जी.